Hi, this is going to be an update video for NuTone intercom models NM100, NM200, and also Music and Sound, or M&S systems, DMC1 and DMC3-4. And if you've watched any of my other videos about those models, you already know that they are identical intercom equipment with different faceplates on it. They're all actually M&S models, DMC1s and DMC3-4s, and for the NuTone versions, the NM series, they simply have a different faceplate on them to look more traditional as a NuTone intercom system would. For those of you who don't know, the NuTone NM series has been discontinued now for about 6 years, and the DMC series by Music and Sound, or M&S Systems, has been officially discontinued. It's been about 6 or 7 months as they finally burned through the inventory that they had on hand, and there are no more new equipments being manufactured. If you look really hard, you might find some out there for sale still, but they're not being manufactured, and as I understand it, there's no more inventory at the M&S warehouse. Also, NuTone offers no warranty or repair service on any NM series because they're all out of warranty. Both of the models, the NM series and the DMC series, carried a 2-year warranty. The basic program at both NuTone and M&S would be, if you had one with a problem within the 2-year warranty period, you would ship it back to them and they would simply give you a replacement because they had replacements on hand. Since the NuTone warranty has now expired because it's been 6 years, if you have a problem with one of these, NuTone's no help at all, and Music and Sound has already said officially that if you have an out of warranty M&S intercom, they do not offer any repair on it. I assume they're going to honor the 2-year warranty on anything that's less than 2 years old, so you're covered for a while, but after that you're pretty much on your own. We have been working on repairing these models for the last 4 or maybe 5 years now, and have had limited success, and some more common problems we've been able to figure out and solve. Other problems that are more complex, not very successful on, because without help from the manufacturer, primarily Music and Sound, it's very difficult to repair sets like these. What it basically comes down to is these models were not designed to be repaired. They were designed to be simply replaced if they had a problem. There are no replacement circuit boards from M&S for any of these models, and there are many variations in circuit boards over the production life of DMCs and NM series. Without exact replacement boards for your model, repairing some problems is just about impossible. Having said all of that, there are some problems that we can solve. And one of the more common problems that we have is the problem that this NuTone NM200 has. This was sent in by an installing NuTone dealer. He installed it for one of his customers 7 or 8 years ago. Recently, it developed a problem that he described as very low volume on the AM/FM radio. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at that. I've got this set up as in a normal test setup here on the workbench. It's being powered by a NuTone NM series power transformer. I have a Chime module connected to it. I have a single remote station because the intercom apparently works fine, and the master station is powered up. I have it connected to a standard NuTone FM dipole antenna with a little jumper for AM on the adapter module. So the system is powered up. We're going to test it on AM, and yes, I have already tested it to verify the problem, but I thought I would do a video to show you. So we'll go ahead and do power on, and it's on FM, and it's tuned to 106.5, and I don't know if you can see that at all or not, but that is a very strong station in this area, so it should come in very well. It's also a classic rock station, which is of course always good to listen to. I have the master volume set at 29, which is maximum. I also have the music level set at 29, which is maximum. And if I listen very carefully at the speaker, I can barely hear it. So to give you a chance to hear it, I'm going to move the camera. Sorry for the shakiness, but that's what happens. And I'm going to put the microphone right up to the speaker.
334 NMLS Consumer Access.
Factory Direct, the furniture store is open
and that's pretty much all you get. Just a whisper's amount of sound. This is actually a fairly common problem. We've repaired a lot of NM series and DM series master stations that have this specific problem. Sometimes it's very, 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 very low radio volume. Sometimes it's no radio volume at all. You just don't get anything out of it. Perhaps it's so low that you just simply can't hear it. All of the other functions on this set work. The chime module rings, the intercom works correctly, and actually the tuning functions, it will seek tune and find stations and so on and so on. You can program them into the memory and all of those sort of things. It's just simply very, very low volume on the output of the tuner. One of the questions that comes up, or one of the questions I guess I would say that I ask people is, because a lot of people would assume, including the fellow who sent this one in, is that, oh, it must have some kind of amplifier problem. And no, probably not, because the intercom works and the chime module works, so that sort of is a good indication that the amplifier works all right. Although if you want to check it, there's actually a fairly easy way to do that, and I'm going to show you that now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to unplug this, because I don't want to work on it live, because that's always risky. So now it's powered off, and I'm going to flip it over on its face and show you this area right here. So what you're looking at is the back of the NM200. This would be the right-hand side. This is the top. This is the back of the speaker cone. This is the rectangular magnet. This is the little adapter board where the AM/FM dipole antenna is connected. And right below that, on the second layer circuit board, here, 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 and here, there are 4 RCA audio input jacks. 2 of them for the auxiliary input and 2 of them for the CD input. Why are there 2? Well, because they're labeled left, right, because there was an option for these models to connect it into a separate stereo amplifier, blah, 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 blah. Nobody ever did that, so they're just extra jacks. Unless you bought the CD changer option, then you would have used these 2 jacks. Regardless of all of that, these jacks are available and can be used for testing, and what we're going to do is we're going to plug in an RCA cable like this into these jacks, and then we're going to connect the other end of the RCA cable, which has a 3.5 millimeter plug on it, into my phone and see if the music plays at regular volume. It doesn't matter whether you use the CD or the auxiliary inputs. It's probably easiest for most people to use the CD inputs because they're more accessible on the back. So I just plug the RCA plugs into them. It doesn't matter which way around you do it because it's only for testing, so it doesn't make any difference. So let's go ahead and stand this back up, plug it in, and see what we get. Okay, so we'll plug the transformer back in, and the set powers up. And we're going to put it on, we're going to turn the power on, and we're going to set it to the CD input like that. And then we're going to take the plug end of the RCA cable, we're going to plug it into my phone, and of course we have to unlock the phone because it locks automatically, and if we play and we turn the volume up on the phone, we have plenty of volume. That's all I can play. That's 38 Special. The song is Wild Eyed Southern Boys. I actually have seen them in concert and got a t-shirt. Anyway, so we know that the audio input works and we know that the amplifier is okay, so it is most likely simply a tuner related problem. So on the back of the NM200 or DMC1 or DMC 3-4 or NM100, because they're all basically the same, on the back of the unit right here you have this big rectangular aluminum heatsink right in the middle, and then you have this metal plate that's screwed onto the heatsink. There are 4 screws, and right here under the plate is the AM/FM tuner module, and it has this flat flex ribbon cable that's plugged into it and goes down and plugs into a matching socket down here on the second board. In this particular case, I have the little adapter board plugged into the connections on the tuner for the antenna because I don't have a coax cable antenna here, just a standard dipole. So we're going to go ahead and unplug that to get it out of the way so you can see under this plate right in here is the tuner module. M&S, because remember M&S made this equipment. This is not really NuTone, it's really M&S. M&S has had tuner problems since the MC series came out. If you have an MC 302, 602, I think there's a 902, they use basically the same tuner module in those units, and they have problems also because back when we were doing a lot of service calls, we would occasionally get calls from people with MC models that had no radio reception or very low volume. Sound familiar? Just like this one, because of the tuner module. So what we're going to do is show you this. This is actually a tuner module out of a, I think it's a DMC1. It doesn't matter because they're all the same. And it's just this little chrome box, and if you pop the covers off, you can see inside you got all kinds of little surface mounted components on that side, and if you pop the top off, you've got other components on the top side. It's got little adjustment coils. There's an IC here, I think that's the FM discriminator IC, some little coils, some capacitors, little bits of this and that. These can be repaired. We have repaired them. This is not a do-it-yourself repair. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know how to troubleshoot it, and so don't get all excited if you think you're going to do it yourself. It is necessary to keep the cover on it, because if you don't, it'll get all kinds of interference and it won't work properly. These modules, like that, these were not made or designed by M&S. These were made by a company in Taiwan, and they are sort of a general purpose small AM/FM tuner module that could be incorporated into many different products that need a reasonably inexpensive tuner in some sort of radio. So it could be a boom box or an inexpensive little home stereo unit, or it could be in a car unit or something like that. But it's a company that makes modules like this, and if you're designing a product like this, you source something from this company to incorporate it into your design so you don't have to design this on your own. We have attempted to buy these from this company. However, it's difficult because unless you want to buy like 1,000 units, they don't really want to talk to you. And unfortunately, we can't seem to find an intermediate company that buys from them or can buy from them where we could possibly buy a smaller quantity, because 1,000 of these is more than a lifetime supply, and I don't really want to do that. They make a lot of different modules like this. Last time I checked, there was like 30 different versions of different modules that have different features and things. This is one of the more plain Jane ones that they make. So what are we going to do? We're going to take this and we're going to substitute it for this one, hook it back up, and see if it works. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll be right back. All right, so I've done the swap over. All I've done, just so you can see, is I simply unplug the flat flex ribbon cable from the original tuner, which is still mounted on the 4 screws on the plate, and plugged it into my replacement tuner. I put the adapter board on the end of it and hooked up my antenna. This is a little bit of Frankensteined this way, but it makes more sense to do it and not take it all apart, because after we figure out exactly what's wrong with it, I have to call the fella, tell him how much it's going to be exactly, and he has to say okay before I finish it up. So this is just a quick, easy test to do this. So let's go ahead and plug this back in. And it's powered up, and we'll go ahead and turn the power on, and we'll turn the controls off. We have static on AM, and we have static on FM.
100 locations nationwide to fix you need,
and that is 106.5. So right now I have the music level at 14, and I can lower it, and the master volume's all the way up at 29, which is fine, and we have good volume. So it's obviously a tuner related problem. What I'm going to do now is take this all apart, put it back in its repair tub, call the fella. I probably won't call him until Monday because this is a holiday weekend. Tell him what I found, get the approval. We'll go ahead and finish it all back up, and he'll be good to go. Just for laughs, we'll go ahead and ring the chime module. and that works. That's my chime module, not his, because he didn't send the customers. And we can test our intercom station here. We have talk. Sorry about the feedback. We have listen. We also have talk from the remote and listen. Gotta love the feedback. So everything else, as he reported, seems to work correctly. It's just simply a tuner module related problem. So I thought I would do a little update on this because this will become probably more and more of a common problem. And if you have this sort of problem, you can do the test with the audio cables and verify it's not the amplifier. And then you can always get a hold of us if you need to about the tuner. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope you found this interesting, and perhaps for someone it will be helpful. If it is, give it a thumbs up on YouTube because that helps us just a little bit. There'll be a banner right here that shows you how to subscribe. Go to our YouTube homepage, click on the bell, and when you click on the bell, click on it to receive all notifications, and every time we post a new video, you'll get a notification and you can watch it. That's all for today. See you on the next video.